Hello, everybody. Claude Diamond here. Okay, we're back. We're going to talk about beer. We're going to talk about how to make money in one phone call today on a real estate deal. One phone call. Amazing stories to tell. We're going to have a lot of fun. I started early because today we're going to review Shinerbach. It's this unique little beer company I discovered. They're in Shiner, Texas, little town. I don't think there's more than 2,500 people in the town. I love small town stories. I live in a small town now, and I'm a New York City boy. And anyway, I'm going to show you a couple commercials. Their commercials are hysterical. They are really funny. And I'm going to switch over to share screen here and show you a couple of the commercials. And then we're going to have a beer together. And then we're going to talk about real estate sales. If you want to join me or you have a question, you know how to do it. Put it in the chat box there. We're on Periscope, Facebook, YouTube, and here on StreamYard. So look forward to you joining me. Watch some of these commercials. They are so original. You know how some commercials are like, oh, God, especially now. Does anyone miss those god-awful political commercials we were watching, okay? Interfering with my Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Anyway, we're going to, these are fun commercials, the kind you like to see. So I'm going to share the screen here. We're going to see a few commercials, and I'll be back with you in a few minutes, okay? So stay tuned. This is Claude Diamond, Beer with Claude Friday. Yay! Listen, I'm not going to tell you to work on hot coals. I'm just going to drink beer with you and talk to you about sales, success, real estate, and a lot of fun stuff. We're going to do it my way. Frank Sinatra said that. Okay, let's go to the share screen here. I'm going to turn this around a little bit here and go to my screen. And here we go. And watch a few of these really great commercials.
You can get a shot of beer. There? Over there. Not there. But Father Kirby will meet you just about anywhere for a Shiner beer. There's this place. And Howard's. Say hi, Howard. Enjoy your Shiner from our town to yours. Roses. The changes in this brewery has been phenomenal. Again, since I've been here, all of the new tanks that was added, brew houses, bottle shops, kegging areas, warehouse, just from one end to the other. And I like to tell everybody that we have a brand new 107-year-old brewery. And Shiner was founded in 1909 by a group of German and Czech immigrant farmers that came to this area. Again, huge cotton farming community here. And when they came here and settled here, they didn't have no beer. We're in the middle of nowhere. We're in the middle of Shiner, Texas. So they needed their beer. So they opened up the Shiner Brewing Association. That's where they started to brew beer. They needed a brewmaster. So they had Cosmo Spetzel come here and actually be the first brewmaster. Again, down the road, he became the owner of the Spetzel Brewery. And the name Spetzel is from Cosmo Spetzel. Shinerbach was a seasonal beer. It started up in 1913, and we made it full time to the Shiner family in 1978. We have a beautiful brewery we'd like to share with people and show them how we make Shiner beers.
You're going to love this commercial. This is amazing.
I was really worried about my
really
tasticles, but I didn't know where to turn.
I was embarrassed to admit I had a testicle problem.
My testicles were blocked, and I didn't even know it.
My testicles are fine.
My testicles were blocked, and I didn't.
Growing up, we never spoke of our testicles.
I asked my rabbi about my testicles, but he was no help.
parents' testicle problem was really holding back our relationship. Until we discovered this.
Years of drinking boring and tasteless beer can lead to testicle shrinkage, blockage, and even total testicular failure. Shiner Bock is specially brewed to help build strong, healthy testicles. If you or someone you love has testicle problems, don't wait. Enjoy an ice-cold Shiner Bock today.
Sure, breakfast.
I love it. I love these commercials.
Shiner's home to 2,069 folks. Oh no, when?
Hey, Jimmy, it's a boy.
So you can get the beer out.
You got that right, Jimmy.
Welcome to Shiner, Texas. Population 2,069. Shiner beer is the best beer made in Shiner, Texas, and now it's coming to New York. I'm Jimmy, the brewmaster at the Spetzel Brewery, where every drop of Shiner beer has been made since 1909. This is where we make the Shiner beer. Just 120 of us here, and we can't drink it all. And this is the Shiner beer. Since we're coming to your town, we thought you might like getting to know ours. Hey, Greg. This is our stoplight. There's our water tower.
This is our
Emergencies
stoplight.
only. This is Howard's, where we play dominoes and drink Shiner beer. Say hi, Howard. You can get a Shiner beer there, over there, not there. But Father Kirby will meet you just about anywhere for a Shiner beer. Here's the mayor, the local paper, Friday's fried chicken. I recommend the fried chicken. Next time you're in town, stop by the Shiner Hospitality Room. Our hospitality is delicious. Enjoy your Shiner from our town to yours.
I love it.
Roses.
They got the local priest to drink during their commercial. I love it.
We Texans love to tell our story. Stories get told and retold and then get bigger and bigger. But there's one true story here in Shiner about how one of the state's most popular icons got its start. All because a handful of farmers simply wanted a beer.
And welcome to the brewery. Now, this is the guys that got the brewery started. It was built in 1909 by Czechs and Germans who just longed for a beer from the old country.
Every year, the little Spetzel Brewery in Shiner, Texas, turns out more than 500,000 barrels of beer, and it's certainly a Texas favorite. But by beer standards, that's still small. And brewmaster Jimmy Mark says Shiner is technically what's called a craft beer.
Craft is a beer made with tender love and care, I think. You know, and you only can do it in a smaller atmosphere like we do it, and more hands-on, one batch at a time. And again, just bringing it from the start to the finish, you know, in small batches, and making sure everything is done right.
Well, for the most part, Jimmy Mark is doing things the same way the original brewmaster, Cosmo Spetzel, started it more than 100 years ago, just to satisfy some frustrated and thirsty farmers.
They just wanted a beer, so they had to start making their own beer. So they tried to make their own beer, and they did for a little bit, but they didn't do a very good job of it. So they finally had to get a professional brewmaster, which was Cosmo Spetzel came in.
And after all that time, things have started to expand to places you might never expect.
I was in Manhattan, and right there on the menu, they were serving Shiner beer. New York City.
Ain't that something? You know, New York City. You know, to think this would happen, you know, 30 years ago and be in New York City, I mean, I think it's exciting. It goes to show you how we're just venturing out, not only here in Texas, but venturing out into the states, and people really want to still try our beers.
For more than a century, the tiny town of Shiner has been home to a world-class beer. It all sounds like a tall Texas tale, but this one's true. Shiner beer is pure Texas culture in a glass.
So as brewmaster, you have to drink a lot of beer, I guess?
Yes, to keep up with the quality control, I might have to taste 12 to 14 beers a day.
In a day?
In a day.
You're not drinking the entire beer.
Before lunch.
What a job.
Yes, it's a great job. Somebody got to do it.
Okay, we're going to stop the screen share there. And, oh, Joshua's here. Thank you, Joshua. Well, you're not on the camera, so that's no good. Josh, turn your camera on. Come on and join us. Okay.
Right.
Anyway, hello. There's 20,000 people waiting for you, Joshua. That's a lot. But there are people. We're watching it. Open Think Dude, favor upon you all. Thank you. Mossy Man, great commercials. I love good commercials. I mean, are we all so sick of the political commercials that have been going on for so long? Amazing. Anyway, this is Beer with Claude Friday. This is where I get to talk about my week. I have a beer with my friends here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Gosh, what else? Periscope, and all my followers and everything like that. And Joshua, when you get your technical difficulties going, we'll let you pop on here. Okay, buddy? You have to turn on your camera if you're going to join me on the StreamYard. Okay. So we're just going to mute his mic for a while because there was a little bit of background noise. I love beer. I've been drinking beer. My parents are both German, and my mother was German and Dutch. Always enjoyed a good beer. Been watching some of the beer commercials on YouTube, the reviews and things like that. Anyway, discovered a new beer. I drink IPAs. One of my favorite beers is Arrogant Bastard from Stone Brewery. I throw a party every year. Claudia and I throw a really great party every year on at Ballast Point in San Diego. Right now, I'm in Winter Park, Colorado. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to post in the comments. We're going to talk about this little beer. I just discovered this literally a week ago. Okay, I love the commercials, and I'm easy. I always tell people I'm the easiest person in the world to sell. And all you got to do is make me emotional and hit my taste buds. Part of persuasion and influence, especially in commercials, is to show people enjoying food. You ever go to the YouTube food channels? How many of you guys out there love YouTube food channels? Oh, yeah. Oh, Mossy Man. I love Voodoo Beer. Voodoo Beer, we're going to do a review on that some night. Voodoo Beer is very good. I think, I'm not sure. Is that a Colorado brewery? I'm not sure. From New Belgium. Okay, there, it's definitely, that's down in, I think it's in Boulder, right? Tell me if I'm wrong or not. Or feel free to join. Here, I'm going to put the link on here. If anyone wants to join me tonight and drink a beer with me, I've put the link is in the stream there right now. But great beers from all over. Beer used to be really boring beer, just American lagers and stuff like that. And I like those too. But the craft beer sensation that's been going, what's the two things that in America, we used to have the world's worst coffee and the worst beer. And now we have great beer and coffee shops. I go to a coffee shop every day. I have a local coffee shop here. They roast their own beans right in there. It's the Roastery in Fraser, Colorado. I love that's my little hangout there. They got great Wi-Fi, clean bathrooms. I hang out. I go running every morning, and that's where I hang out after my run till my wife picks me up. It's a long uphill, so I get a pickup. Okay, truth be told. But beer is so much better today. Anyway, the Shiner Bock, we're going to drink this now. This is definitely German origin. Look, they got a little ram there. They have actually these guys running down the Route 70 in Colorado. You actually see these rams or ewes on the highway when you're driving in Colorado to the different ski areas. Ski season is starting soon. Anyway, it's a great beer. I love their marketing. Their marketing is so funny. If you watch the commercials, the guy's driving around in a little golf cart, and it's a little small town story. And even the local priest drinks Shiner Bock, and that's how they end the commercial. So let's open this little puppy. It's a twist-off cap. It's a darkened bottle, and they do that to, protect it from light. That's why so many breweries today, by the way, are actually going towards cans because the sunlight is deadly to beer, and you gotta protect it by either a darkened bottle or put it in a can. A lot of people putting in cans now, especially for people who like to go hiking and stuff like that, because you can take that can and squish that little puppy up, and then you can pack it out if you're hiking or running or something like that. I've never run with a beer. I've run to breweries with my friend Adam Garson. We've actually running brewery hops. Okay, a lot of fun. But this is a cute little brewery. I love the story. Let's open this puppy up. Easy twist off. Do you ever get a twist off? It's like you think you're going to rip your fingers or something like that. Oh, amazing. Fort Collins. Thank you, Mossy Man. Mossy Man, feel free to join me with a beer if you like. Here. And Asherville, North Carolina. Okay, interesting. Okay, good. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, let's pour this in. Got my little Save the Fraser River. We have a river through my town here in Winter Park, Colorado. It's a little river, and Denver's trying to destroy it and just suck the river. Everybody in Colorado talks about the environment, but we've got these little tributaries off the Colorado River, and one of them is the Fraser. And Denver's just so they can keep their lawns green. They're trying to destroy our river. So we have a little thing going here. We want to save the Fraser River, because if the river goes, we go. Okay, because in those rivers are animals, wildlife, things, plants grow. We have beavers in there. But I was taking a run. Quick story. I'm sorry. I was taking a run along the river, which I do every day. I run 10 miles a day. Keeps me young and beautiful for you people. Yes, I heard that. And there was a bunch of trees down on this little trail that I run in. It's well traveled. A lot of people and tourists go on it. And these trees were down. And you looked at these trees. They weren't sawed clean through. They were gnawed through by beavers, busy little beavers. So I've never seen anything like it. These were these were 6 inches across the trunk. And these beavers they'd eat right through it and knock them down so they could build their dams in the river and stuff like that. Let's pour a beer here, Claude. Shut up. Oh, look at that. See, I like the foamy. I poured that a little too fast, but look at that foamy head. I'm going to have to talk a little longer while this thing slows down. But let's get a smell off this beer. Wow. It's a really interesting beer. It has a slight bready smell to it. You know, what's the 10 best? What are the 10 trivia question? What are the 10 best beers with 10 best smells that you could ever smell? Fresh popcorn. You ever go to a movie theater and not get popcorn? How do you not get that popcorn? Do you ever go into someone's house and fresh baked bread? Do you love that? How about steaks on the grill? Okay, my vegan friends, don't get offended. Okay, do you love that smell of the steaks? How about a roast in the oven? Okay, and the smell. Oh, nice smell. Little sweetness to it. Oh, nice. And look at that color. Look at that beautiful. That's a copper a color. Now they call this a Bock beer. Okay. This is not your father's Bock beer. Bock beer was generally a very heavy, dark, strong. I used to call it the bottom of the barrel kind of beer, the leftover beer from the major breweries. And I'm trying to think of, oh God, what was it? Pabst? Not Pabst. Oh, Rheingold. Ballantine beer. It's old German. You ever notice all the breweries were all German names? Rheingold, Schlitz, Ballantine, all German names. Shiner, Bock. And the Bock beer that I've had when I was much younger, when I was a kid, we used to get together underage. I was a kid growing up in New York City. We'd find the local wino and give him enough money so he could get a bottle of his Irish Wild Rose drink, spring wine, and he'd get us a 6-pack of beer at the same time. That's how you drink at 13 years old in New York City, by the way. Okay, I hope your children aren't listening to this right now. But this is not a strong beer. It's more like a lager with fuller flavor. It's dark. I find it refreshing. Okay, let's have that first sip. I hope I'm going to wish everybody prosperity, good health. Don't watch the news. Turn off the TV. Life is good. It'll get better. We're going to get past this pandemic. So ein Prosit, l'chaim, salute, kampai, and whatever other cheers I can think. Cheers. There you go. Let's have a sip. Man, is that refreshing. I'll tell you, it's not a strong beer, okay? This is not a traditional Bock beer. This is more like a lager on steroids, okay? It's a light taste. It's a refresh. I don't even think, what's the alcohol on this thing? It's not high at all. I think it's 4.7 or something like that. It's so small, and I don't have my glasses. I can't read this right now. Small town, small brewery. Every drop of Shiner beer is brewed in Shiner, Texas. Population 2,069 by local craftsmen who take pride in the little brewery and our classic Shiner Bock. This American-style Bock has a clean flavor and a slightly sweet finish. We hope you enjoy drinking it as much as we enjoy making it. I like that. I like that kind of marketing. You know, you're the customer. We respect you. We have jobs. Because you buy our product. We can't thank you enough. I love that kind of marketing. Whereas my Arrogant Bastard beer does the opposite. It does a very humorous. My favorite beer is Arrogant Bastard. It's made by Stone Brewery in California. And on their label, they say, "You are not worthy of our beer. Keep drinking that very watery beer stuff." And they're talking about Coors and Budweiser, of course. I like that. Let's have one more sip here. Are you enjoying this with me? Here, you have a little sip. Have it as what we call a virtual sip, okay? Joshua, did you ever figure out how to turn on your camera and join me? I guess not. Okay. A Mossy Man, thank you. I live in Hawthorne and Manhattan Beach, California. Oh, we live in San Diego, but I'm in Colorado, Winter Park, Colorado right now. I used to live in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Oh, we've spent a lot. Go Pokes, yeah. Both my kids went to school at University of Wyoming in Laramie. I love Wyoming. Great state, great people. Used to hang out at Fort Collins and Greeley in Denver. Yeah. Colorado, Wyoming. Oh my gosh, Montana. I got friends moving to Idaho right now. These are nice, safe. People are moving right now. Have you seen the culture? There's a culture shift going on. Maybe we'll talk about that. But I'm going to have one more sip here with you guys. That is such a good beer. It's hard for me to call this a Bock. I know they say it on the label. It's smooth. It's got a very mild malty taste to it. This is not an IPA by any stretch of the imagination, or a traditional Bock, but it's light, it's refreshing. You can drink a couple of these, okay? I would never turn this down at a party, never. In fact, I bought a 12-pack today. It's not even expensive. I think we got the 12-pack. Oh my gosh, was it $17? And I'll tell you, it's really worth it. Good beer is such a bar. Did you ever go to a bar? And Centennial, Colorado. Yeah, Archer's beer. I've never had an Archer's beer. Sorry. I have never had. I'm going to write that down, though. Archer's beer. And where's it made? Where did you say it's made? Okay. It's I love new beers, different things. This is a little side story here. One of my favorite beers when I was in college. Does everybody have a favorite college beer? Okay, do you remember your college beer? Mine was Yingling. Yingling was the cheapest. Can I say shit? With cheapest, it was the cheap shit college beer. Okay, it was the PBR of my time. And God, if you had $1.50 or $2, you could get a 6-pack of Yingling. It was cheap. And it was a light, traditional American lager, Coors, Budweiser beer, but it was kind of flavor. It had flavor to it. It had a light, it wasn't a strong malty taste or anything. But today, Yingling is like one of the hottest beers. It cracks me up. Yingling is one of the hottest beers in the world. It is in New York City. They love Yingling. In New Jersey, it's the oldest brewery in America, by the way. I'm going to be, is it made in Pennsylvania or New Jersey? It really started then. Somebody Google Yingling beer. Tell me where it was made and when it was started. But I think it was started in colonial times when we were still 13 colonies on there. Seamus McMasters. Hi, Seamus. I love that. What a great name. Seamus is the coolest name. Columbus Brewing Company has a great IPA called Creeper. I'm going to try it. Oh, wow. Is that Columbus, Ohio? Creeper. Let's write that down here. Thanks for these suggestions, guys. These are other beers. It's really funny. A lot of times I'll drink during the week. I like a beer at 5 o'clock. This is one of my favorite beers. Oh, we got some people joining us finally. Here we go. Glenn Tuttle. How you doing, Glenn? This is my go-to low-carb, low-calorie beer, Michelob Ultra. Okay, I heard what you guys said. Listen, beer, calories, carbs, it's all that stuff. And I like beer. And actually, this is, next time I'll do a review on this. Michelob Ultra is my go-to Monday through Thursday regular drinking beer. It's, and I love these aluminum cans. Tell me, do you love aluminum cans? Glenn Tuttle, turn on your video. Don't be shy. Glenn, join me for a beer, Glenn. You didn't just pop on here for nothing, did you? I hear your background noise.
Turn the TV down a little bit.
I'm here.
I'm just trying to get a virtual screen in the back. Just give me a second.
Don't worry about the virtual screen background unless you're on the toilet. If you're on the toilet, use your virtual screen background. Absolutely. Natural Light was the cheap beer for me. Natural Light is a good beer. I've drank that. That was good, Seamus. Columbus, Ohio. Thank you. Yeah, this is my regular Monday through Thursday beer. I'll drink one of these. But I just discovered the Shiner Bock here, and just a nice beer. Look at that, beautiful. I mean, it's a Look at that color on that. Isn't that I love the color of beer. I love a foamy head. The trouble with some of these lighter beers is you get that little one finger of beer, and then, my God, it just disappears. We love the foam, don't we? Do you ever see the old pictures, the old breweries when they did the bucket of beer or the mug of beer, and they take the little, I think it was like a stick or something, and they push the foam off of it and everything. I love that. Oh, Killian's Irish Red. Now we're getting serious. That is a damn good beer. Killian's is a good beer. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Glenn, what are you drinking while you're working on all those technical issues here?
Beet juice and tamarindo juice.
Oh, wow. Healthy stuff. Healthy stuff. I think beer is healthy. What do you guys think? I think a good beer is very healthy. Absolutely. I mean, it's made from grain, right? It's made from my other go-to beer, my other go-to cheap beer. I have this thing about I love I love some of the expensive beers from Belgium and things like that. You know, the $15 a bottle beer and stuff like that. La Fin des Monts from Canada. That's a Belgian beer. That's about $8-9. The end of the world, La Fin des Monts. That's as good a French as you're going to get from me today. Michael Buckles has joined the party. Michael, pull up a Budweiser and join us, baby. I think, Seamus, I agree with you. I think if you run 10 miles a day, you eat one meal a day, and you drink you drink 1 or 2 beers a day, you're going to live forever, buddy, and you're going to live healthy too. Absolutely. Hey, if you guys want to join me, here's the link. If anyone wants to drink a beer or talk to me about beer with Claude today, here we go. I also I like to talk about real estate, sales, marketing, things like that too. I definitely enjoy that. Glenn, have you ever figured out how to turn on your video? This is 2020.
Yes, I'm working on it.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, we were talking a little bit about beer. I have a challenge for you. So you want a real estate challenge? Well, you get your video on, and then we'll do I have a great little real estate challenge question for you. Absolutely. Here's my little munchie plate here. What kind of munchies do you guys like with beer while you're drinking beer? Is it chicken wings? Little chicken wings before dinner, a little too heavy. I always get a little plate of nuts here. I like peanuts. I like roasted Blue Diamond almonds. I love these. Pistachios. Who doesn't love pistachio nuts? And of course, the pretzels. I don't trust people who don't like pretzels, okay? Or chocolate. Absolutely. Just enjoying a beer with friends here. Let's have another sip. I had a good week in business today. How about you, Glenn?
Well, I getting some things set up, but I didn't make any phone calls yet. So I'm.
Oh, wait a second. I'm getting out my box of tissues.
I know. No excuses.
How are you going to make money if you don't make phone calls?
No excuses.
Got to make phone calls. Got to talk to people. I run a very low overhead, very high profit business because I do one thing really well, and I owe it to my mentor. And behind every successful man is usually a very smarter, more exhausted wife, and I have one, thank God. But I owe the success of my business because I have no hesitation to pick up the phone and talk to people. You ever wonder why some people are so great in sales? They make so much money. They've overcome that self-consciousness. You know, I'm the former shy guy. Do you believe that, Glenn?
Yes, I believe it.
I was shy. Ooh, I just lost you. I don't know where you went. Okay. There we go. And let's see. Oh, Joshua, did you ever figure out how to turn on your camera and come on here? No? Okay. Well, when you do, just join it. Just feel free and like joining us. Anyway, I used to be the shy guy, and shy people, this is going to sound horrible. This is subjective. This is opinionated. Okay. I was very shy. When I used to go on dates, I used to I used to write little notes, talking points. Okay. Did you ever go on a blind date and know what, and just sit there and listen to the crickets? It ain't fun, is it? It is definitely not fun. By the way, if anybody would like to join me on Beer with Claude, the link is there in your chat box. And love talking about stuff except for politics, religion, and diets. Okay, we don't need that stuff. I found out I was a shy guy. I went to business school. I went to law school and stuff. And the thing about it is, how do you persuade or influence another person to want to do business with you? You have to learn how to make them like you and trust you. You have to learn how to ask questions and do things like that. And I was lucky. I had a mentor who taught me how to sell. You ever meet somebody who's got that natural charismatic qualities? They can walk into a room in a party. Hi's everybody, Animal House, party time. And then there's some guys like me kind of sit in the corner nursing your beer, looking down and everything like that. Should I go to that person and talk to them or not? Look at this. Oh my God, he came on. The king of beet juice.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hold on. Sorry.
Going over your camera right now. My God, what was that?
A piece of tape.
Wow. How you doing, Glenn?
Very good. How are you, Claude?
Okay, I got to chat. I'm good. And you know what's my biggest problem in my life?
Uh-huh.
The biggest problem I have.
How to spend all the money?
No, that's an easy problem. That's not a problem.
Okay.
I have no problems. I have no issues. I enjoy every day. It's a gift. I'm drinking good beer with a good woman. She doesn't drink beer. But the biggest issue in my life is I have no issues. Long as I've always looked at life very simply. If the cable bill is paid and I got a bowl of mac and cheese in front of me and a good beer, man, that's it. That's it. And I'm trying to stay away. I'm a news junkie. I read newspapers and everything, but I'm trying to stay away from the news right now. It's all
bothersome. Terrible.
It's all too crazy. That looks actually very good, what you're drinking. Tell us again what that is?
It's half beet juice and half tamarindo. It's the only recipe I know that takes care of non-alcoholic fatty liver.
Oh, okay. I like beet. Do you like borscht?
I don't know what that is. Probably not.
Borscht is beet juice with beets in it. It's a traditional Slavic, Russian, Polish dish. I used to have it as a kid. I was raised by two European parents, and it's served cold in a big bowl, and it's, bright red beets with the pieces of beets in it and everything. And it's kind of semi-sweet, and they usually put a big dollop of sour cream in the middle. And
okay.
It's delicious.
Yeah, beet juice by itself is a little earthy. So
with
tamarindo in there, just so sweet.
Beet juice is naturally sweet too. It's got a natural sweetness to it. Absolutely. I'm so glad you joined me tonight. This is a little different venue than you used to.
We're home alone.
Home alone. Yes, they left us home alone. Did you love that? When I was a kid and my parents went out on a date or something like that, and they left me home alone. Oh my God, did I have a party? I used to love it. Go, take mom out. Yeah, have fun.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I was talking about. I have a question for you, a real estate question. If you somebody called you up that you kind of not knew well, they weren't a friend or anything, and their house was just destroyed. Their $1 million home was destroyed, and they called you up and they said, "Hey, Glenn, we know you. We know you're in real estate. We like you. We trust you. We don't want to wait 2-3 years to get that insurance check and to rebuild our home. We want to get a new home, but we don't know any realtors. Could you recommend somebody?"
Yes, I can help you with that, Claude.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Oh, Joshua's tried to join us again today. You guys have got to get better computer equipment. This is 2020 here. Oh
Yeah,
my
I've never
God.
been on StreamYard before. I had
Oh,
to load it.
StreamYard is easy. It's like Zoom or anything else. What's great about StreamYard is we're broadcasting simultaneously to all the major social media at the same time
Okay.
right now. It's so much fun. So much fun, especially when you got a grande boca here, big mouth. So somebody calls you up. They're a couple in their 80s. They just lost their home and they want to buy a new home, and they call you up. Glenn, we know you. You go to our same church and synagogue and mosque, and you're on the board of directors from our Lions Rotary Elk Club. And we heard you're in real estate. Could you recommend? We need to get another home. Could you recommend a real estate agent?
Well, that's a good question. Why do you feel you need a real estate agent?
Because our home just burned down and we want to buy a new home, and we like and trust you, Glenn. Now, off the role play. Glenn, I want you to monetize this situation. Okay. How can Glenn go to the bank?
Well, I can help you today with that, Claude.
Oh, how's that? We're looking for our $1 million home just burned down. We qualify. Money's not an issue. We want to find a new home, and we know you, and we know you're in real estate. Can you recommend a real estate agent or broker or somebody we can trust to help us buy a new home while we're waiting for our checks and everything else like that?
Yes. Well, are you looking to? Could you handle maybe renting for a year or two before you move into your home? Or?
We don't want to rent. Yeah, we looked for rentals, and there's nothing available in the marketplace right now. So we figured, let's just bite the bullet. Let's just buy another home.
And what area are you looking to buy in?
Same area, same. And by the way, this is a relatively true story. This is in Colorado, where we had hundreds of homes just burned down right down the road from me. By the way, by the grace of God, our town was spared. Okay. And so we don't want to screw around with renting. There's nothing on the market. We just figured we can afford it. We're in our 80s. We have the money. We're going to buy. We have the credit. We're just going to buy a new home until the other one can be rebuilt. Can you help us, Glenn? Because we know you're in real estate and we like you. We know you from our nonprofit. You're on the board of directors on our other nonprofit. Can you help us, buddy?
Yes, I think we can look for a new home for you this week. And what price would you want to stay under?
I don't want to stay under. I want to stay over. I want another $1 million home. And
okay,
you're not, but you're not
an option.
You're not a realtor. And I called you because I wanted a referral.
Okay.
This is a tough one, Glenn. This is a tough one. It's
I'm
actually
not prepared for that.
Okay, it's okay. This is how do we learn? We practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
We practice. So off the role play, if you know a couple really good realtors or real estate agent brokers, and these people want to buy a home, they're low maintenance, they got the money, they want to buy another $2, $3, $4 million home. How do you monetize? And you know a couple of realtors. How do you monetize that?
Well, I would talk to the realtors as fast as I could, and then I would.
Hello, Claude the realtor.
Hi, Claude the realtor. Listen, I just got this couple. It's a neighbor of mine, a friend of mine from church, and their house just burnt down. They're really looking to get into a home right now. They want to buy a home right now. Money's not an object, and I was looking to see if you had anything exclusive in the same neighborhood.
I've got a lovely home. I listed it. It's been on the market for 3 months. It's a little pricey. It's $2.4 million.
Well, that doesn't seem to be a problem. Is that price firm?
There's always a little wiggle room, but pretty much it's a good deal. It's a beautiful home. It's on a 5-acre lot. It's state of the art. It was custom built home. It's never been lived in. Why don't you give me the name of those people here? And I'll send you a gift card to Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Palace.
Well, that sounds nice. I'm trying to cut down on Chuck E. Cheese. So what I like to do is possibly get a referral. And how does 5% work for you?
What do you mean a referral? I'm sorry, what?
I'd like to get a referral for this customer. So
Oh,
if you could,
I'll give you okay, Chuck E. Cheese and okay, Popeye's chicken gift card, $20. Okay,
actually, I think I'd rather have 100,000.
100,000. Are you crazy?
Well, that's less than 5%.
Yeah, but I've got to make money on this deal too, and on $1 million home, we only get 5%. So 5% of a $2.2 million home is $110,000.
Okay, so let's split it. I'll bring you the customer. You make a sale right away, and we'll both walk away happy.
Everybody who's watching this right now, give this smart man. Let me see if I never point the right way. Give this smart man a round of applause. He just made $52,000. I'll repeat that. What you just did, you're a smart cookie, young man.
I'm learning.
You're learning. You got the answer. You negotiated and you did it. And nice going. That's exactly what you were supposed to do.
Thank you.
Yeah. You negotiated with the realtor. Now, you ready to go back?
I asked for more than I thought I was going to get.
Why not? Life is short. On your last day, when you're 138 years old,
party,
right? Are you going to look? Are you going to look back on all the things you could have done, you should have done, or the things you really did do to make a difference?
Most people look back at what they could have, should have done.
Life is too effing short. Just go for it now. I call my system guts because, go for it right now. What's the worst somebody can say? No? Oh, big deal. Oh, my poor little sensitive feelings. Oh, no.
A lot of tears.
Go for it. You did great there. I'm really proud of you, man. That was excellent. That is exactly the right. Now, let's go back in that. Can I torture you a little bit more?
Yes.
Let's go back in the role play here.
Okay.
So how much do you want? You want half my commission? Is that what you're asking for?
Yes, sir. I think it's only fair. You haven't sold the house in how long?
It was in escrow 6 months ago, and it fell apart. And the owners are a little antsy to get rid of it. They were investors. They built this home, spec home, and I'm going to lose the listing if I don't do something before Christmas, man.
Right. So if you lose the listing, you lose everything. You end up with nothing. And the customer's mad. He goes off to another realtor, and they start all over, and you end up with nothing. So this way, I'm bringing you a customer. They have money. They want to buy right now. They just lost their home. They're a hot buyer. They'll walk in and they'll close in 5 days. What do you want to do?
Glenn, put in a little stroking and nurturing. You don't want to be two roosters in the hen house here. Make me like you. Give me a cookie.
I heard you were the best realtor in this neighborhood, so I called you first. But if it's not the right deal for you, I can call another realtor that is also working in this area. I don't want to do that. I want you to be first on my list for all of my deals.
Well, I am the listing agent on this, so I don't. And you're not a realtor, right? So I guess I could share my commission or something. Like, you really want 50? I mean, how about 25%?
I'm sorry, that doesn't work for me.
Okay, off the role play. So there's only short, little, brilliant moments in your life when you have power and leverage. Is this one of them?
Yes.
Yeah. He doesn't know the couple that you know. What happens if you just give away their name and their phone number? What happens to your $52,000?
I go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, you go to Chuck E. Cheese, baby. I like that. What is with Chuck E. Cheese? Why? Have you ever gone there?
Unfortunately, yes.
It is the worst place. It is the place you got to take aspirin and drink heavily before you go. It's nothing but screaming kids and bad pizza.
It's terrible.
It is the worst. It is the worst. Did you ever? And here's the one thing I don't understand. If you were going to start a restaurant franchise, what would you pick as your logo for your food? It's a fun place. Bring the kids, have the birthday parties. Our pizza's mediocre, but what would be the logo you'd pick for that place? Would you pick a rat? Chuck E. Cheese is a rat. No. Chuck E. Cheese is a rat. I mean, that Disneyland only has a cute little mouse, but Chuck E. Cheese is a rat, a raton.
Ratatouille, right?
Ratatouille, baby. What is one of the highest income, nicest places in Florida? Boca Raton. Boca Raton. Do you know what Boca Raton means in Spanish?
Mouth something.
Rat's mouth. Yes.
Rat's mouth.
When you say, I live in Boca Raton, but if you do it in English, I live in Rat's Mouth, Florida.
Sorry, I feel bad for you.
Yeah. It's really funny when you know the English of those words, right? Absolutely. Not a mouse or a rat, laughing out loud. Seamus has joined. It cuts you out completely. Okay. Outside Miami. Yeah, definitely. It's a great area. So let's go back in this role play here. And tonight, our sponsor, our hopeful sponsor, our false sponsor is Shiner Bock here, my newly discovered local Texas beer. I fell in love with the commercials tonight.
Okay.
Let's go back into that role play. Okay, so so I'll tell you what. Okay, well, I've got nothing to lose. I'm a broker. I'm the listing agent, so I could split it with you. What should we do? What are we going to? So just give me the name of these people, and I'll take it from here, Glenn.
Well, I think the best action to take is to fill out my fee and get the money that you're going to pay me first, and then we'll meet at the closing table and we'll do the deal at the same time.
I can't pay you first because I haven't made a dime on this deal yet. I've got to wait and show them the house. I've got to do the contracts, open escrow. You say they're qualified. I believe you. But it might be 30, 45 days before I get paid. And I can't pay you until I'm paid.
I don't know how to set that up.
Okay. First of all, off the role play, you got to negotiate something in writing to protect yourself.
Like a note?
A note, a consulting agreement, something to protect yourself, right? Because what's going to happen if you just go, oh, well, I trust you, and you go ahead and do this deal with the guy. He's going to get this big check for $120,000, and he's going to say, Glenn who? Glenn Tuttle? I never heard of him. Who? What? Can that happen?
Oh, absolutely. Happens every day.
Oh, yeah. So you got to protect yourself. How do you protect yourself? You put it in writing.
Get it in writing.
You get it signed. You get it witnessed. You get it notarized. Something like that. And that's how, in a situation like I just described, how somebody can think on their feet and make themselves a year's salary in just one little deal. You did good, man.
Learning.
Learning.
Thank you.
I learn stuff every day. I never stop learning. Absolutely. Any questions for me before we go here tonight? Oh, look, we got a Seamus McMasters joining the stream here.
Evening.
Evening. How you doing, Seamus?
I've had better days, but I've had worse. So
okay.
I can't complain. It's Friday. So
where do you live, Seamus?
I live in a small town north of Columbus, Ohio.
So okay.
Small little rural farming community.
Yeah, good. What's your favorite native craft Ohio beer?
Ohio's had a revolution in the beer scene. And I tell you, I'm a big fan. Right now, I would have to say Jackie O's is a good local craft brewing, and they have a nut brown ale. That's amazing.
Ooh, so. Yes. You bring your little growler over there?
No, because here in my town, we have a bar that caters to importing a lot of craft beer from around the state. And I can just walk down to my local bar and, get it there. So it's nice.
I live part of the year in San Diego. We've got an amazing little craft brewery, Stone Brewery, Ballast Point. Have you ever had a Ballast Point?
Mm-mm.
Ballast Point makes the most amazing beers in Southern California. And then I live part of the year, at least since COVID, here in very safe. I'm up in the mountains here in Colorado. My wife and I were talking today. We have 32 cases of COVID here, in a county the size of New Jersey.
Wow.
Okay. And I'm so grateful to live in a place that's so safe right now.
Yeah, our town's probably a little bit less than 32,000 people, and we had the largest. It's kind of silly to say this. We have one of the largest prisons that sits outside of our town. It's been there since the late 50s, and it had the largest amount of cases in the state of Ohio in that prison. Luckily, it didn't flow over for the most part in the community. So, we've been kind of lucky. You live in small town America and you think you're kind of immune to COVID because you're not a big city like New York or Chicago and whatnot. And it was just the other day, my brother comes home and he said one of the guys he works with was diagnosed with COVID. So he had to go get tested. Luckily, he tested negative, but it's just scary when it hits you that, I think a lot of people in small town America walk around with the, we'll call it the immune factor. Like, it's never going to come here. It's never going to come here. And then, somebody or somebody close to you hits home and gets COVID and you're just like, whoa, okay, it is real now. They don't really take it seriously.
Does everybody know somebody at this point who's had COVID?
Around here,
no.
Yeah. I mean, other than my brother, no, I don't know of anybody that's gotten COVID other than what my brother had told me, a guy that he works with. But, I don't know.
By the way, towns that have prisons and state prisons and federal prisons are economically very stable areas, by the way. I have some properties in Chula Vista, California, and there's a prison nearby, Davidson prison. I don't know if it's state or federal prison. And a lot of good paying jobs, good medical. I mean, these people are paid very well as prison guards, and they buy houses and things like that. And they don't want to live too far from the prison for the commute. And there's a bedroom community in San Diego called Chula Vista and Bonita. And the real estate, the cheapest house in the areas are usually around $500,000 to $650,000. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, just because the demand is so high for that real estate right now. And I know in Ohio, you guys are in normal land. You can still get a decent house under $100,000, can't you? In Ohio,
you could buy real estate buildings for under $100,000. That's one of the things. Like, half the reason I found your stream is I love brewing my own beer, and my goal one day is to open up a brew pub. And in our town, these guys just opened it up. They bought a whole building for $80,000, and fixed it up and turned it into a brew pub. So real estate, I personally believe real estate in our town is like super cheap as far as commercial real estate. On the residential side, it is trending upward above, typical values, but I still think it's a good time to buy.
I've always believed in real estate. I've always believed that, and anything you buy at a reasonable price, at a good neighborhood, near good schools or amenities, transportation, parks, things like that, schools, and you hold on to it long enough. Every piece of property, every home I have ever bought has gone up in value. Every home. I've never, knock on wood, never lost money on real estate if I bought it correctly. I financed it correctly. Absolutely. I moved from New York and New Jersey to California. I mean, and I was in sticker shock in New Jersey when we moved there 30-something years ago. You could still get a house for $100,000 in New Jersey. I go to California, and the cheapest house in the world is $220,000. And today, the average home in Southern California is $650,000. Average. That's the low side. That's
on homes above 500 to 500 to $1 million. What are you go off a percentage that you're looking for, or just whatever you can find a tenant buyer has do you want 10,000? You want to go to 25? I mean, what's normal to charge for something above 500?
Normal to charge for
a referral percentage,
referral fee or percentage that you're looking for to make on a deal like that.
I always go to the marketplace. What does a realtor charge? 6%, right? Mm-hmm. So if a realtor can charge 6%, can't I? And I can solve the problem more efficiently. Better financing. I've negotiated a better contract, a better deal. Am I entitled to get at the same as a realtor? I think so. Okay, maybe I'll negotiate. Maybe it'll be 5%. Maybe it'll be, maybe I just found this deal yesterday. I want to flip it and sell the contract to somebody tomorrow. And I get 3% on a $500,000 property. That's $15,000. I'm happy. Mrs. Diamond is happy, right? That's the creativity and the spontaneity of real estate. And it takes a lot of guts sometimes. It really does. What does everybody need? A place to live. And we're in and I love residential real estate. Why? Because there's so much of it. And there's always somebody with a situation where they're in pain or they have a problem and the trouble with real estate is it's not a commodity that can be sold or moved quickly. It's not like a bar of gold or something like that. It's something that usually you got to list it, you got to sell it, you got to put up signs. So if I can find somebody today who needs to sell their home, they need the money for something else. They need to move. They got a job transfer. They're getting a divorce or something. I'm looking for that needle in the haystack. That's how one guy who gives good phone can build $1 billion business. I'm looking for that, but I don't want to wait. But I don't want to do what most other people do and waste a lot of time doing free consulting all day long. That's where I think a lot of people go wrong. I try to work as smart as I can. I have a rule. It's called the rule of 5. You know that, Glenn. I want to talk to 5 warm prospects a day. And I want to talk to them and say, this is your problem. Here's a couple solutions. Can we do business today or should I leave you alone? One phone call. Right to the point. No BS. Totally transparent. Real honest. And people really love that.
And absolutely. you talk about the money up front.
Always. When should you talk about money? The beginning, the middle, or the end of a deal?
Well, the beginning tells you what you're working with.
Yeah, absolutely. Seamus, best cheap beer in the world.
Best cheap beer?
I love cheap beer. I'm a Miller. I'll bare my soul. I think Miller High Life, the champagne of bottled beers, is brilliant for the price.
I don't know. To me, it tastes like burnt chalk. Man, anywhere in the Midwest, I think natural light, or they call it natty light. I think that'll win you over anywhere in the Midwest. I know that for a fact, and I know you mentioned Yingling earlier, but typically you go to bars and stuff like that. Yingling's going to be up there a little bit above Bud Light as far as price is concerned. So Bud Light still, natural light outside of a bar. Natural light is probably. I'm not a fan of it anymore because I'll get a little bit snooty with you. I'll say I've cultured myself when it's come to starting to brew beer and appreciate craft beer. Exactly, some of those, but I've learned to appreciate different tastes in beer and really pulled myself away from your macro brews like the Coors or the Anheuser-Busch. But I used to be an Amberbach fan, and I haven't seen that beer in years. I think they quit producing it.
Michelob Amberbach. Yeah. A good beer.
I haven't seen it in years.
You know what's? This is very similar to Michelob Amberbach. I don't even know how they can call it a Bach. It's really a lager with a little with coloring, a nice coloring but it's a lager. It's a light tasting of traditional American beer. Have you ever been to Germany?
No, it's one of the places I want to travel.
Put it on your bucket list. This COVID will be over in another 6 to 12 months, God willing. Thank God. Oh God, I can't wait to get back to normal land.
Yeah.
But I've been to Germany and I've been to Munich, and that's where they invented Bavarian. That's where they invented beer. Okay. And you go there in September, October, and you go into one of these little beer gardens, and they give you the best beer. You have never tasted beer this fresh, no preservatives or anything. And it's a lager, really.
Yeah.
And they give you these mugs. It's like lifting weights. They're huge. and it's like a quart of beer in this mug, and and the music is playing, and you're on this little thin table with total strangers. Everybody's happy, by the way, and you drink this German fresh made Oktoberfest or lager beer. It's like a moment in your life.
Definitely one I got to put on my bucket list for sure.
Oh, you got to put it on your bucket list. And then the food in Germany is phenomenal. Have you been, Glenn? Have you done any traveling?
I was stationed there for 2 years.
Sprichst du ein bisschen Deutsch?
A little bit.
Not
that much. Ein Bier.
Eine Bier bitte. Yes. And wo sind Sie Badenzimmer? There's only two things.
The bathroom.
Yeah.
Beer and bathroom.
There's only two things. I know 5 languages. I know 2 sentences in 5 languages. Can I have a beer, please? And where's the bathroom? What else do you need?
You need the Hauptbahnhof, which is the train station. It'll take you home.
Tell me, we've only got about 3-4 more minutes where I got to go. Tell me about the food in Germany. Was it some of the best food you've ever had?
Yes, the cordon bleu was amazing. Never had anything like it in my life. And they in Munich, when the beer gardens, when you're talking about, when you ask for a plate of fries, it's like a plate. You could feed a family, and then they ask the next guy, "What do you want?" Or when you order pizza in the restaurant, there you get your own pizza. You don't share pizza. It's like, okay, this is yours. What do you want, sir? That's how they are. It's like,
ever have a schnitzel?
I didn't like the big long schnitzels. I liked the bratwurst on the sourdough bread. Oh. Amazing. Breakfast. That's for that. Beer and bratwurst for breakfast.
Oh, beer and bratwurst, and you put the sauerkraut on it and that German spicy mustard on it.
You good till nighttime.
And you bite into that and you get that little snap on the bratwurst. You know, when you bite into a good brat.
Amazing.
I don't trust people who don't like brats. I don't know. There's something, they're missing a chromosome or something.
The same when you go to Amsterdam, you go to the factory for Heineken. You won't drink a Heineken when you come back here. It's not the same. It's amazing at the factory.
Heineken here. Tell me if I'm wrong. Seamus, you ever drink a Heineken?
Oh yeah.
Why does Heineken over here? And Glenn is right. Heineken over here tastes musky. It tastes old. It tastes.
Doesn't taste like anything. It's like a water.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to brewing beer, and especially at a commercial level, the question you got to find out is, do they brew it here or is it shipped in? Another good example is Guinness. You know, anybody who's lived in Ireland or been to the Guinness factory and had it right there, and then you come back to the States and have a Guinness, and you're like, this ain't the same product, you know. So the key thing is understanding when they manufacture it and bottle it and then ship it. What's the lag time from leaving the factory or distribution center? How long does it sit in a warehouse before it's finally shipped over to the United States? And then for customs sake, how long does it sit in customs before it's distributed? I mean, you know, things like that. It doesn't see daylight, you know, anytime like that. Daylight can skunk a beer really bad, you know.
Skunk, that's the word. Thank you. Skunky beer. I'm getting so bad, or maybe so good. I'm checking dates, expiration dates on beer before I buy it now.
Well, that's what's leading, you know, things like that. You know, you guys talk about, man, I had a beer here and it's the best I've ever had because it's so fresh. Well, that's what's causing, I think, in my opinion, the craft beer revolution here in the States. You know, we've really been seeing it slowly grow for the last 20 years. And, you know, if I was to brew a beer, you know, 3-4 days of fermentation, then I can keg it and then boom, it's right on tap and it's fresh and it's amazing, you know, compared to something that has got to travel internationally. So, you know, you're really getting to the freshness quicker when you go micro versus macro.
Oh yeah, there's a day and night difference. And Glenn, what you said, Heineken does not in Holland. I've been to Holland. I love Holland. Okay, my mother came from Holland also, and the beer when you have a beer in Holland, or you know what's one of the most understated beers? You can find it in Trader Joe's. Have you ever had an Oranjeboom?
No, but I've wanted to try it. I've seen it, but I've wanted to.
So it's so good. It's in Trader Joe's. It's a Dutch beer. It's hard as hell to find. Trader Joe's, for some reason, always has it, and it's not expensive at all. And it's what a value! What a great beer! But once again, if it's been sitting in a warehouse or on a boat or on a dock in Newark, New Jersey for 6 months, it isn't gonna taste the same.
Right. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab actually an Irish red that I brewed. I'll show you here.
We're getting a special thing here. Glenn, while you're drinking your beet juice, I hope you don't mind us talking about beer here.
It's fine. No problem. In Germany, beer is a food group.
In Germany, I'm amazed.
Like a food.
It is regulated by law that they can't use preservatives or artificial anything in their beer. It's got to be fresh.
That's real good.
It's a religion over there. It really is.
Germany's a good place to live. I could live there. It's very nice.
Germany, meine Deutsch sind nicht sehr gut, ein bisschen schlecht, but I can, it's kind of interesting. My wife and I were talking if we had to move somewhere because all the craziness in America right now. Since my parents both came from Germany, we are allowed instant citizenship because I was born in America, but I'm the son of immigrants from Germany, and under German law, you're granted instant citizenship if you're descended from one generation from a German family. Kind of interesting, isn't it?
That's interesting. That's good.
Yeah, I'm not leaving America. I love America, even when it's crazy. Like it's been. Is this the craziest year in your life?
Yes, there's a lot of disinformation and information, and this guy says that, and this guy says that, and the doctors say this, the politicians say that. It's a mess.
You know, when I live near, I know nice people, I work with nice people, and I think, what is normal America? Most people I know are decent people, they're good people, they never hurt anybody, they pay their bills, they raise their children right, they never want to hurt anybody or anything. I mean, that's my America.
Well, traveling Europe and other countries and then coming back to here, it's the same everywhere. People are people. They want the best for their family. They want to raise their children in safe and secure. The problem is the way that they hear the things on the news. You only hear bad news. And then, when one politician, people get mad with another politician. They should just play chess and get it over with. Why do we have to deal with it?
Have a boxing match.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Wouldn't that be great? Biden versus Trump. Put them in a boxing match, and the guy who survives is going to be our next president. Didn't the Romans do stuff like that?
That's how they used to figure it out.
And then you would definitely have a lot younger leaders, that's for sure.
Okay, Seamus. God, I love your name, by the way. That is Seamus, a very traditional Irish name, isn't it?
It's a Celt Irish name. It actually translates to James in English.
It's a wonderful name. It's a powerful, unique, wonderful name.
Thank you.
The McMaster's beer.
Yeah,
exactly. Brandy.
Now this, my camera, obviously, you touched on it earlier. I need to definitely get me a better webcam. This is an old 720p. It's pretty bad. You're not going to see it.
You're in a London fog right now.
Right, exactly. Yeah, like Jack the Ripper hazy kind of style. But this is one that I brewed, and you can't see it's got a very beautiful red color to it. I mean, it's almost like you're looking at a ancient picture from the 1800s or something like colonial times. But this one is probably one of my better ones that I get a lot of raving reviews from people because typically.
And you make that yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got all kinds of equipment.
What's it smell like? What's the smell?
Man.
Note?
It's got like very caramel hint to it. It's almost like a Killian's clone.
Okay. What kind of hops do you use? What kind of hops use? Domestic or
a little bit of both. It all depends on where they come from and the style that I'm making it. So, we got a lot of good ale hops here in the United States and a lot of good distributors, but really what it comes down to, it's the malt, your grain that you use when you brew. If you want something that tastes like German malt, then you go to distributors overseas and have it imported to give you that more unique flavor. And I know a lot of guys, especially around here, who brew locally, commercially, that will go overseas and look in Norway, they'll look in Germany, they'll look in Ireland and say, okay, if I was to get this beer there, where are their suppliers? And they'll go to their suppliers, order it, and have it imported. And really, it's amazing because it brings that globalization style down to a local level. So you don't have to go to Germany per se. I mean, obviously, you don't want to ever write that off the table. Go visit and travel, but if you're not able to at that point in time, you can still get it. We've had people come from Germany. This one guy that does it here in town, and really, praise this guy on how good his beer brewing is. So
Wow. There's one of my favorite breweries, micro craft breweries, is Ballast Point in San Diego. They make Sculpin beers, and it's a great brewery. You go and the food is amazing. The chicken wings, the duck nachos, all this beautiful food, and they got like 50 different beers across, and they make everything. It started with a couple guys in a little, hey, learn how to brew. They had a little store, learn how to brew your own beer. And they sell all the supplies and the tubes and the malts and the hops and everything like that. And then they started selling beer inside this little teeny store. I mean, it was a little place. And people start saying, this is great beer. I've never tasted anything like this. This is not my dad's Miller High Life anymore. Yeah. And then they opened up a little outside brewery, where people could sit and socialize and eat some food, some good munchies. And they sold this thing for like $1 billion. Yeah. and it became Ballast Point Brewery. And then recently they had some troubles and stuff. They sold it for, I think 600 million or something to an Australian company.
Wow.
It's amazing, this revolution that has occurred.
Brazil's another country that's on the major rise. They're starting to go through that.
San Diego has a brewery called Novo Brewery. It is the only Brazilian brewery. Have you ever heard of it? Novo, N-O-V-O. Check it out. They make the most brilliant beer, and you sit inside the brewery. I mean, there's no glass partition. You're sitting inside the brewery with the noise and the steel, stainless steel canisters and everything. You're right in there, and it's the best place to say. You know what? The socialization it's kind of interesting. The breweries I go to in San Diego, people bring in their kids and everything.
Yeah. Colorado's got a slew of them, I think, right there in Boulder. And you got a lot of award-winning craft breweries right there in Boulder, and you'll see like the German, exactly, and you'll see like the German table setting where it's like a community table setting with big long picnic tables, because they want people in that neighborhood to get together and meet each other and bring everybody together. And so you'll see dogs, you'll see kids, you'll see all kinds of everybody across the lake, which is really cool, to get everybody socializing.
All the TVs, all the big screens, and the food is so brilliant. The food, you wouldn't think I'm thinking, I'm older than you guys. I remember the old bars, the old slovenly, dirty, sticky, greasy bars, and everything. You're lucky if the black and white TV worked, okay? And the bartender would get a phone call, hey, who's not here, because the wives were called. And today, it's kind of like Disney. Oh, best story ever before I leave. So I'm going with my kids and into Disneyland. We live in California. And it's Disneyland to me. It's I've been there too many damn times already. I'm getting old or something. And it was a long day. It took 38 minutes to park the car, and it lines everywhere. Cost me $400 or $500 to get through the door with the family and everything like that. And it was a long, hard day. And I've gone on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride 1,800 times already. And then we went into a different California Adventures section of Disneyland, and Ballast Point has a brewery inside Disneyland. America's little family place now has breweries inside. I don't know about Disney World, but in Disneyland, they have a brewery now. And it's like, oh, this must be what Mecca is like for the Arabs. This is good. This is great. I have to go, guys. Seamus, good to make a new friend. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Glenn,
great watching you guys doing role play. And Glenn, if I may chime in real quick, Glenn, awesome job on that. And it's nice that you get to have a guy, the mentor up there, guiding you on what you can do. And that's one of the things when I was watching this, I was like, draft up an agreement, when you're wanting to look to get that certain percentage, have something in writing that's whether it's a percentage or a flat rate to really solidify the fact that you can, even if you can't get the money up front, you're going to get something in return. They're not just going to undercut you and write you out of the equation. And again, even if you have kids, we don't like Chuck E. Cheese, I mean,
I don't think any parent likes Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, that a pizza where they say they use different pieces from different pieces of pizza, and they said they're never symmetric and all that jive. It makes me laugh. So that's a funny example. I really like that. But yeah, just wanted to give you a praise there, Glenn. I thought you did really awesome.
Anytime someone, well said, nicely said. Anytime someone makes you a promise, put it in writing. Okay, I've seen this so many times with so many salespeople in real estate. Oh, we can do this. We can guarantee this and everything. Put it in writing. If it's not in writing, it's not worth the paper it's written on.
I have about 9 years experience in accounting with commercial construction, and I've seen it so many times. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. They tell you they'll talk your ear to sleep. They'll swoon you, and you'll be thinking, okay, man, this is a good, outstanding person. Then you find out what life is really like and how people can be, the flip flop of what they show you. They put on that beautiful shell that makes you feel all comfortable, only to try to get the better of you in the end. So that documental statement. Sad we live in a world that way, because you want to be able to do the business with a shake of a hand and treat people for their word, but it's just not the society we live in, unfortunately.
Well said. And with those intelligent words, I'm going to say, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining Beer with Claude. A great time, good beer, good friends. We've solved almost 38% of the problems of the world. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you guys next Friday. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Bye.